Your heart beats about 100,000 times every single day. It pumps blood through 60,000 miles of blood vessels. It never takes a break. It never stops working for you. From the moment you were born until this very second, your heart has been there, keeping you alive. But here is something most people do not think about. Every single thing you eat either helps your heart or hurts it. There is no neutral. Every meal, every snack, every choice you make in the kitchen has an effect. And today, we are going to talk about the foods that can actually heal your heart. Not just protect it, not just reduce your risk, but actively repair and strengthen your cardiovascular system. These are foods that work at the deepest level, changing how your blood flows, how your vessels function, and how your heart performs its endless job. Heart disease is the number one cause of death in the world. Every year, nearly 20 million people die from it. That is one person every few seconds. And yet, something remarkable is happening in the research. Scientists are discovering that certain foods contain compounds so powerful they work through the same pathways as prescription medications. But before we dive in, I want to address something important. For decades, we have been told that eating fat causes heart disease. Butter is bad. Eggs are dangerous. Anything with fat will clog your arteries and destroy your heart. This belief came from research in the 1950s and 1960s. And for 50 years, doctors repeated it. Food companies removed fat from everything and replaced it with sugar. People avoided foods like fish nuts and olive oil because they were afraid of fat. Here is the fascinating part. That research was incomplete, and in many ways it was wrong. When scientists looked more carefully, they discovered something that changed everything. There are different types of fat. Some fats cause inflammation and damage your blood vessels. But other fats do the exact opposite. They reduce inflammation. They help your blood flow more smoothly. They keep your blood vessels soft and flexible. They actually protect your heart. And these protective fats are found in foods you can buy at any grocery store. Let me show you what they are. The first food is fatty fish. Salmon, sardines, mackerel, and other cold water fish. These fish contain something called omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 is a special type of fat that your body cannot make on its own. You have to get it from food, and fatty fish is the best source. So what does omega-3 do for your heart? First, it reduces inflammation throughout your body. Inflammation is one of the main causes of heart disease. When your blood vessels are inflamed, they become stiff and narrow. Blood cannot flow properly. Your heart has to work harder. Over time, this leads to serious problems. Omega-3 calms this inflammation. It helps your blood vessels relax and stay flexible. Second, omega-3 helps keep your heartbeat steady. One of the most dangerous things that can happen is when your heart suddenly beats in an irregular pattern. This can cause a heart attack. Research shows that omega-3 significantly reduces the risk of these dangerous, irregular heartbeats. Third, omega-3 lowers the amount of fat in your blood. High levels of blood fat, called triglycerides, are a major risk factor for heart disease. Studies show that omega-3 can reduce triglycerides by 20 to 40%. The research on this is clear. People who eat fatty fish regularly have a much lower risk of dying from heart problems. The American Heart Association has been recommending fish for heart health for over 20 years. And the evidence keeps getting stronger. You do not need to eat fish every day. 2 to 3 servings per week is enough to see real benefits. A serving is about the size of your palm. That is manageable for most people. But fatty fish is not the only food that can protect your heart. The next food might surprise you. It is berries. Blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, and other deeply colored berries. Have you ever wondered why berries have such rich, deep colors? That blue in blueberries, that red in strawberries. These colors come from compounds called anthocyanins. Anthocyanins are powerful antioxidants. Let me explain what that means in simple terms. Every day your cells face damage from things called free radicals. Free radicals are unstable molecules that can harm your cells, including the cells in your blood vessels and heart. Antioxidants neutralize these free radicals. They protect your cells from damage. Anthocyanins are some of the most powerful antioxidants found in food, and they seem to have a special affinity for protecting your cardiovascular system. Research involving tens of thousands of people has shown that eating berries regularly is associated with a lower risk of heart disease. Berries help reduce inflammation. They help lower blood pressure. They improve how your blood vessels function. They even help reduce bad cholesterol. And here is the beautiful thing. Berries are delicious. This is not medicine that tastes bad. This is food you can actually enjoy eating. Fresh berries, frozen berries, berries in smoothies, berries with yogurt, it all counts. Scientists conducted a large review of 44 clinical trials and 15 long-term studies. They found consistent evidence that berries and the anthocyanins in them provide real protection for your heart. The benefits were seen in healthy people and in those who already had risk factors for heart disease. What makes berries even better is how easy they are to add to your diet. A handful of blueberries in your morning oatmeal, some strawberries as an afternoon snack, frozen berries blended into a smoothie. There are so many simple ways to get these protective compounds into your body. So we have fatty fish with omega-3 and berries with anthocyanins. But there is another food that researchers have studied extensively, and it sits at the center of what many consider the healthiest diet in the world for your heart. That food is extra virgin olive oil. People living around the Mediterranean Sea have some of the lowest rates of heart disease on the planet. Scientists have been studying their diet for decades, trying to understand why. And one thing keeps standing out: olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil contains healthy fats called monounsaturated fats. But it also contains powerful antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds. These work together to protect your heart in multiple ways. Olive oil helps keep your blood vessels soft and flexible. When blood vessels become stiff, your heart has to pump harder. Over time, this leads to high blood pressure and other problems. The compounds in olive oil help prevent this stiffness. Olive oil also helps reduce inflammation in your blood vessels, and it appears to improve the function of HDL, which is often called good cholesterol. HDL helps remove bad cholesterol from your blood vessels. The research on olive oil is impressive. Scientists followed more than 90,000 people for 28 years. They found that people who used more than half a tablespoon of olive oil per day had a 14% lower risk of heart disease. They also had a 19% lower risk of dying from heart problems. Another major study called the Predimed trial involved over 7,000 people at high risk for heart disease. Those who followed a Mediterranean diet with extra virgin olive oil had significantly fewer heart attacks and strokes compared to those on a low-fat diet. This is important. The people eating more fat from olive oil had better heart health than the people avoiding fat. You do not need expensive olive oil to get these benefits. Regular extra virgin olive oil from any grocery store will work. Use it for salad dressings. Use it for cooking at low to medium heat. Use it instead of butter. Small changes can make a big difference over time. Now, the fourth food works in a very interesting way. It helps your blood vessels relax and open up. This food is leafy green vegetables. spinach, kale, lettuce, arugula, and other dark green leaves. Leafy greens are rich in something called dietary nitrate. When you eat these vegetables, your body converts the nitrate into a compound called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is fascinating. It is a molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and widen. When your blood vessels are wider, blood flows through more easily. Your heart does not have to work as hard. Your blood pressure goes down naturally. This is not a small effect. A large study followed over 53,000 people for 23 years. The researchers found that people who ate the most leafy green vegetables had a 12 to 26% lower risk of heart disease. And here is the remarkable part. You do not need to eat huge amounts. Just 1 cup of leafy greens per day was enough to see the benefit. 1 cup. That is a small salad. That is a handful of spinach in your morning smoothie. That is a side of steamed greens with dinner. People who ate more than 1 cup did not see significantly more benefit. So you do not need to force down massive amounts of vegetables. 1 cup is the sweet spot. Simple, achievable, and effective. This might be the simplest change you can make for your heart health. 1 cup of leafy greens every day. Make it a habit and your heart will thank you for years to come. We have covered fatty fish berries, olive oil, and leafy greens. But there is one more food I want to tell you about. And this one might surprise you the most. It is something you probably already have in your kitchen. You use it for flavor without even thinking about it. Garlic. Most people think of garlic as just a seasoning, something to make food taste better. But garlic is one of the most studied foods for heart health, and the research shows it is remarkably powerful. When you crush or chop garlic, it releases a compound called allicin. Allicin is responsible for that strong garlic smell, but it is also responsible for most of garlic's health benefits. Allicin works in several ways to protect your heart. First, it helps your blood vessels relax and widen, similar to how leafy greens work. This lowers blood pressure. Second, it helps reduce bad cholesterol in your blood. Studies show garlic can lower LDL cholesterol by 11 to 26%. Third, it helps prevent your blood from clotting too easily. Blood clots that form in the wrong place can block blood vessels and cause heart attacks or strokes. Garlic helps keep your blood flowing smoothly. Fourth, it helps reduce the buildup of plaque in your arteries. This buildup, called atherosclerosis, is a major cause of heart disease. Now, here is what makes garlic truly remarkable. Research shows that garlic can lower blood pressure by about 8 to 9 points for the top number and about 6 points for the bottom number. These reductions are comparable to some blood pressure medications. Let me say that again. A common kitchen ingredient can lower blood pressure as effectively as certain medications, but without the side effects that many medications cause. This is the power of food as medicine. Not a synthetic compound created in a laboratory, not something that costs hundreds of dollars, just garlic. The same garlic people have been using in cooking for thousands of years. The reason most people do not know this is because garlic is too familiar. It is too cheap. It is too simple. We do not expect something so ordinary to be so powerful. We assume that real medicine must be complicated and expensive. But the science is clear. Garlic is one of the most effective natural substances for supporting heart health. Civilizations around the world have used it medicinally for centuries. Now we understand exactly why it works. One small tip about garlic. When you crush or chop it, wait about 10 minutes before cooking with it. This allows the allicin to fully form. If you heat the garlic immediately, you destroy some of the beneficial compounds before they have a chance to develop. And as a bonus, I want to mention one more food, dark chocolate. But specifically, Dark chocolate with 70% cacao or higher. Dark chocolate contains compounds called flavonols. These flavonols help your blood vessels relax and can lower blood pressure. Studies on heart disease patients found that high flavanol cocoa improved blood vessel function and reduced blood pressure. This is not permission to eat unlimited chocolate, but a small piece of high-quality dark chocolate can actually be good for your heart. Now you know which foods can heal your heart. But how do you actually use this information? Let me give you some practical guidance. When buying fatty fish, wild caught is ideal, but farmed salmon is still beneficial. Sardines and mackerel are affordable options that are just as healthy. Canned fish counts too. For berries, fresh or frozen, both work well. Frozen berries are often picked at peak ripeness and can be just as nutritious as fresh. Choose whatever fits your budget and what you will actually eat. For olive oil, look for extra virgin on the label. Bottles with dark glass are better because light can damage the oil over time. But regular olive oil is still beneficial. Do not let perfect be the enemy of good. For leafy greens, any variety works. Spinach, kale, lettuce, arugula, mixed greens. Choose what you enjoy eating because the best food for you is the food you will actually eat consistently. For garlic, fresh cloves are best. Crush or chop them and wait 10 minutes before cooking. This simple step makes a real difference. For dark chocolate, look for 70% cacao or higher. A small piece, not a whole bar. Some of these foods work even better together. Olive oil with leafy greens is a perfect combination. The fat in olive oil helps your body absorb more nutrients from the vegetables. This is why a salad dressed with olive oil is so healthy. Fish with vegetables makes a complete heart protective meal. Add some garlic to your olive oil-based cooking, and you have the foundation of the Mediterranean diet right there. Preparing these foods is simple. Bake, grill, or lightly pan-fry fish. Avoid deep frying because that adds unhealthy fats. Eat greens raw in salads or lightly cooked. Use olive oil for dressings and low to medium heat cooking. Crush garlic and let it sit before adding to your food. You do not need to buy the most expensive versions of these foods. Canned sardines, regular spinach, standard olive oil, fresh garlic from any grocery store. All of these will give you the benefits we talked about. So after everything we have explored today here is what I want you to remember. You do not need expensive treatments or complicated programs to start protecting your heart. These 5 foods, fatty fish, berries, olive oil, leafy greens, and garlic, are available everywhere. They are affordable, and decades of research have proven they work. The beautiful thing is that you do not have to change everything at once. Start with one food, add some berries to your breakfast. Include a serving of fish twice a week. Dress your salads with olive oil instead of other dressings. Have a cup of leafy greens with dinner. Use fresh garlic in your cooking. Small changes done consistently add up to big results over time. Every meal you eat is an opportunity to care for your heart. You have more control over your health than you might think. The choices you make in your kitchen today affect how your heart functions tomorrow, next year, and decades from now. If you are currently taking blood pressure medication or blood thinners, talk to your doctor before making major changes to your diet. These foods can enhance the effects of certain medications, which is usually a good thing, but your doctor may need to adjust your dosage. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these foods surprised you the most? And which one are you going to add to your meals this week? Let me know in the comments. If someone you care about has a family history of heart disease, please share this video with them. This information could make a real difference in their life. Subscribe to this channel to discover more about how food affects your body. We explore the science behind nutrition in a way that is easy to understand and actually useful. And if you want to know which common food might be quietly damaging your heart every day, that is exactly what we will cover next. Thank you for watching. Take care of your heart.